I believe the hype and I tried clipping. I lost my job 1 year ago and I am trying every side hustle until one pays my bills. You've seen the posts, make $1,000 clipping, 10,000 a month, 15,000 a month. So I tested it exactly like a normal person would. Brand new accounts, 1 month, posting every day on 3 platforms. And spoiler alert, I made $0. But this video is still a tutorial because I'm going to show you every step so you can decide if it's worth your time. And you can avoid the traps that wasted mine. We're going to go over the 8-step process. Step 1, find the video clip. Step 2, setting up new accounts. Step 3, email and phone workaround. Step 4, branding and compliance. 5 is warming up those new accounts. 6 is auto clipping. 7 is scheduling 90 posts. And 8 is submitting the post for review. Here's the plan. I'm going to walk you through the full workflow, and I'm also keeping score because that is where people who say clipping is an easy side hustle are misleading. We are tracking number of steps, time spent, tools needed, and total cost. If you want to try clipping, follow along step by step to see what's really required. And if you're already thinking about quitting, this video might just save you a month. Before you even think about clipping, you need the actual video file and the campaign rules. In my case, everything started at Whop. First, I created a Whop account. Once you're in, click Discover. This is where you're going to find the programs and campaigns. From there, you search for the clipping campaign that you're joining, click into it, and the most important part is not the hype, it's the requirements. You have to read the requirements first. So part of that says I had to tag the podcast and the guest. Then there was a minimum clip length of 10 seconds. And then I had to submit the clips that were posted on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok within 30 minutes. The rules determine everything: what you're allowed to post, what you have to tag, minimum clip length, and even how quickly you have to submit links after posting. Inside the campaign, you'll usually find the assets. In this case, the podcast was in a Google Drive folder. That's where you download the full episode that you're going to clip. Step 1 is you set up your Whop account. Then you go to Discover, open the campaign, read the rules, download the episode. Only after that does it make sense to start setting up your social accounts. Part of this campaign was that you had to create a brand new page dedicated solely to the podcast. And so I had to create all new accounts for TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram that had 0 followers. You would think that that was the easy part. TikTok is where the problem started. And that's because you need a new unique email address for each new account. So my next step was going to create a brand new email. Sounds simple, right? Except Google gave me a warning that said, it looks like this account was created or used with multiple other accounts to violate Google's policies. What I realized is that my phone number was already linked to multiple email addresses I already had. So now to create a new email, Google wanted a new phone number. And I have one phone. And I'm not buying a second phone just to clip podcasts. So if you're keeping score, I found the video to clip. Then I had to set up all new accounts. TikTok requires me to have a new email address. To get a new email address, I need a new phone number. So we still haven't started clipping yet. Here's what I did. First, I wrote an appeal note to Google to unlock the email. While this was pending, I tried a cheap workaround, an eSIM plan. I got the $5 plan, the cheapest possible, and it was a nightmare. Turning off my main number, missing text, settings, issues. I burned about 4 hours and still couldn't get the verification code for my new Gmail account to activate and come through. So here's a fix that actually worked. I used Google Voice. It's free, and instead of needing a text to your main phone number, it can send the verification code to your email address. So I made a Google Voice number, and I used that to verify the new email. And once Google approved my appeal, I swapped the phone number on the account to the Google Voice number. At this point, I finally had a new email address tied to a workable phone number so I could finally create the dedicated TikTok account. And we still haven't clipped anything yet. Next, we have to make the accounts. They need to look legit and compliant. So this matters because you don't want copyright problems, and campaigns usually require you to tag the podcast account. So I had to take the podcast logo and I had to cut it, resize it, make it look a little bit different so I didn't run into copyright errors. And by the way, the YouTube banners never fit the first time. It's very annoying to size them correctly. So I had to create a simple logo, play around with that YouTube banner, and then updated the bio to include the podcast for each platform. And this part isn't hard, it's just more setup time that nobody mentions in the easy money pitch. Okay, now we have to warm up the accounts. This was a step that surprised me. You can't just post immediately on brand new accounts. You have to warm them up for about 24 to 48 hours. That means scrolling content, liking videos, leaving comments or two, following relevant accounts on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. So by the time I was ready to upload my first clip, I was roughly 3 days in from the moment I decided to start. And I spent the last 2 days scrolling, leaving comments, and following influencers in my niche across 3 platforms: Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. All right, now I'm finally ready to start clipping. But here's the thing, I wasn't going to manually clip 30-second, 10-second pieces of an hour-long video. So I wanted to find a platform that does auto clipping. I downloaded the podcast episode from the campaign's Google Drive, and then I used a tool called Opus Clip. So the starter plan is about $15 a month. This is not sponsored. I just really like the platform. I found it very easy and intuitive, and it has a lot of functionality that really saved me a lot of time. Here's the exact workflow. Step 1, you upload the full episode. So you upload here, and then you get clips in one click. It will ask you the clip settings, and you can set your criteria for what parts you want to clip. So I told it to look for highly emotional moments with keywords, and it generated a bunch of clips automatically. It gave me around 40 clips, and what I loved is it automatically generated captions, a suggested headline, a short description, and hashtags. That is a huge time saver. It also ranks clips by viral likelihood. Now, I don't know how accurate that score is, but it's a useful filter. I set an arbitrary cutoff, anything over 80. So it rates each clip on a scale of 0 to 100, and anything over 80 I kept, and I thought it was worth posting. So these that you see on the screen are sorted as the ones with the highest score to the lowest score. You're only seeing 12 right now. This one in the top left corner, the 8-second clip, that had the highest score. I think it was like 96. But one important rule that the campaign said was that it required a minimum clip length of 10 seconds. Since this was automatically clipped by Opus Clip, it only clipped it at 8 seconds. I couldn't use that clip. I just discarded it and I just went to the next highest score clip. After filtering them out for high scores for going viral, I ended up with about 30 clips. And still within Opus Clip, there's a scheduling function where you could automatically schedule the clips to post on all of your platforms. So you just have to connect the accounts through Opus Clip and then schedule the clips to post. Here's the math that I had to do. 30 clips across 3 platforms is 90 posts. I posted 1 clip per day to each platform: TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. So 3 posts a day total. And for Instagram, which is the example you're seeing right now, you paste the caption Opus gives you, you choose the time, and I picked 2 p.m. because that's what worked on my schedule, and then you save it. Now repeat the same for TikTok and repeat again for YouTube. And when you do that for the remaining 29 clips, it's very tedious. Here's the trick. Do it in batches. I did 1 platform at a time, so 3 sessions of 30 posts each. But it gets worse. because the campaign rules state that I had to tag the guest profile in the captions of each. So I couldn't just use the auto caption exactly as is. I had to manually edit each post description to include the guest handle for each platform. Instagram needs the guest Instagram handle, TikTok needs the guest TikTok handle, and YouTube needs their YouTube channel. That's a lot of copy and paste. Finally, I was finished. I had 30 days worth of posts scheduled for 2 p.m. each day across TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Now I'm on to step 8, submitting the post for review. Here's the part that made this feel like it was an unpaid internship. Scheduling is not enough. Clipping is not enough. Captions are not enough. New accounts is not enough. To get credit, I had to submit each post clip back to the campaign platform. And the campaign rule was submissions must be within 30 minutes of posting. So I created a daily calendar reminder for 30 days at the time my post went live. Every day at 2 p.m., there was a calendar reminder to post a clip back to the Whop platform in the campaign. And so here's a submission workflow. You enter your video title, copy and paste that, then you copy and paste your Instagram link. You click the I read the submission button, and then you click submit for approval. And then you have to do it again for TikTok and YouTube. The first day, the platform connection step was very confusing. You have to connect your accounts. So you have to, the first time, connect Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and the interface wasn't intuitive. So I timed out on day 1 and was only able to submit one post within the 30 minutes. Because remember, they all went live within 30 minutes. If I were going to do this again, I would probably have the post go live at slightly different times to give me a little bit more time to post the clips. By day 2, I got the hang of it and it was manageable, but still, it is daily admin work. So let's see how we did. Let's check on the results. On YouTube, I had 1 subscriber, 29 videos, and most clips got 0 views, maybe 1 view, 2 views, 6 views, 3 views. We're talking very low single digits, if any. On Instagram, I got in the low hundreds. Some, when I first started, just single digits, and then it worked up to double digits until I got low triple digits. And on TikTok, I got similar performance to Instagram, single digits to low hundreds. So at this point, it was painfully obvious that I was not hitting the thresholds of 1,000 views to get paid. So I will not be making any money. All right, so let's look at our scoreboard. Steps required, 1 star. I mean, the campaign said there were only 4 steps. I counted 8. Tools required, 1 star. And that's because there were so many tools. I had to set up new accounts for TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. I had to get a new email address for the TikTok account, a new phone number to get the new email. Then I had to get the clipping software. So, I mean, we're talking at least 5, 6 different tools that I needed to do this. From a time perspective, it was absolutely terrible. It was about 70 to 80 hours just for the setup. That includes the warming up period where I had to just be on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, commenting and following people and scrolling content. So that all eats into the easy side hustle narrative. Cost was actually really good. I only spent about $20. I spent $5 for the SIM with the first phone number that I never used, and then $15 for the starter plan on Opus Clip. So that was pretty good, $20. If I had made any money, that would be great. So my final takeaway is if you still want to try clipping, now you know the actual steps. But the reality is the steps and the tools friction is massive. New accounts, email verification, phone number workarounds, branding, warm up, scheduling 90 posts, and daily submissions. 0 stars. Highly do not recommend unless you already have a real distribution strategy and you're not starting from 0 followers. If you already have a platform with followers, you probably could make some money. It's almost impossible to get 1,000 views on a brand new account with 0 followers. If you want to see me test the next side hustle, subscribe to No Hire, No Retire, and I'll see you on the next one.